In this video, I am continuing to hunt for the original Bagga the Alchemist. I have assembled a team of various different Bagga variants to help me conquer the fortresses of Mordor.
The worms are in my head and they wiggle! Wiggle, 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 wiggle!
But in this video, I also summon in 2 of Bagga's old bandits. Will these 2 legendary orcs be enough to help me take the horrible fortress of Seregost?
You not dead! I not dead!
His name was Great Walker, not so much a talker.
Thanks to the efforts of Bagga and Bagga's bandits, we've been able to take Nirnin. But how long can we hold it for? Ratbag summons me to a meeting to inform me that we are under attack. But we're not gonna let them take this fortress easy.
Ranger! You've got trouble!
So I head to the front gate to see who is exactly attacking my fort.
You were foolish to think you could hold a fortress in Mordor. And if you think you, or any of your traitors, will survive this day, you are more foolish still.
The rock skull olog. I am not impressed. Rather than wait for him to come over the walls, I smash on down straight into the battlefield.
I implore you, do your worst. Otherwise, it's hardly worth my time.
I summon in Bagga the Green to start leading his troops from the front. Set an example for the rest of the bandits. He hits the rock skull once, which immediately makes him enraged by injury.
That's not how.
Got him angry!
I begin to distract the rock skull from the front while Bagga lands some deadly blows behind. As Bagga the Green delivers the final blow, he gains much more needed experience, and I gain a new skill point. But the raid does not end there. 2 more attacking captains infiltrate deep into the fortress. I dash on over to the inner point where I am greeted by these new attacking lads.
Man filth! Did you not see me, or were you ignoring me? Either way, man filth, you pay!
It's safe to say that this attacking orc is a certified nerd. Nerd! Also nice to see Ratbag's ranger joining the defense. I land a deadly blow on the thinker, and then I finish him off in a brutal way by exploding this barrel. And the second this orc is done cooking, the other attacker decides to have a chat with me.
Lots of stuff in his fort I quite like the look of. An exception, though, would have to be this man who stands before me.
Wow, quite a nice bit of dialogue there from the murderess. I love him talking about the loot that he's gonna steal inside the fortress. Also, nice to know that this orc does not want Talion. I feel like I get so many obsessed orcs, like they really love Talion. But I guess he is a bit of an anomaly. I jump over his head and hit him with my glaive attack, but right when I do that, he becomes enraged and smashes Talion in the face. The olog tries to stop the quick time event, but it's too late. It goes off and I'm thankfully able to deflect the bolt. I hit him with a few arrows to the head, which ends up freezing him. I then move in and land a finishing purification blow. With the murderess now gone, it triggers the next wave, which is 3 more attacking orcs. This time it seems like all 3 of them are going to the first point. And while I'm fiddling around trying to grab this artifact, they down the defending orc there, which I believe is actually Bruz.
It's a stick.
And as I run to go and find out, my awesome warlock takes out the flesh picker. It's safe to say in this raid there's definitely a bit of a level discrepancy.
Minas Morgul was only the beginning, Turk. More cities will fall, their vaults plundered, their people butchered, and just as before, there will be nothing you can do to stop it. All this talk grows wearisome.
Stop talking!
After chatting to these 2 guys, I get Bruz back on his feet. Stop being so lazy, lad. Get in there and help the warlock. Oh my god. After getting out from that embarrassing tackle, I land an execution on this spear thrower. But then he uses his ult, running backwards, throwing spears. There's just no counter to that. I use up my final last stand, And then just as I'm trying to lock in and get rid of this annoying spear thrower, the olog throws one of my own grunts at me. He then begins to charge at me, which absolutely terrifies me. I retreat up to this rooftop, get my breath back, and then jump back into the fight because my warlock is down. And because I'm such low level right now, he is bleeding out extremely fast. Too fast for me to be able to save, which is very sad because he was actually doing something, unlike Bruz.
He's dead.
Filled with rage, I fire a shot straight into the head of the Gravemaker. I then get Bruz back up, even though he's useless.
Pathetic.
And together we both start laying into the Limb Ripper. Ending the siege. And you all know what happens next. Bruz decides to betray me. Maybe because I just called him useless the entire fort raid, but he was useless. Anyway, he spears me and throws me off the balcony, Dumbledore style. He then makes himself the overlord and takes my fortress for himself.
King in the castle, king in the castle.
After resurrecting, I begin to wander around Mordor, searching for orc captains. If I'm going to defeat Bruz, regain my fortress, and ultimately find the original Bagga the Alchemist, I need to grow stronger. I'm currently only level 28, and I come across this poor shredder orc. And I make quick work of him. After this, something crazy happens. Talion just randomly goes up 7 levels, from 28 to 35. He definitely didn't raid an online XP fort and kill many orcs and overlords in the process. No, he definitely didn't do that. Did I say level 35? I meant level 38. As it turns out, these XP forts are actually very handy. So whenever Bruz took the fortress, something very bad happened to Bagga's bandits. They were all taken captive. I head to meet Ratbag, who informs me that they have been taken.
What's the plan when you stabbed me in the back?
From the back right through to the front.
And Bruz is using them to lure me out.
I'm a really good scout.
Scouts go on ahead.
I sneak into the camp and what I see horrifies me. Bagga the Itchy, tied to a pole, not free. This orc is such a free spirit, this breaks my corrupted little heart. I immediately take out the orcs and set him free. Quickly, Bagga the Itchy, itch yourself. It must have been agony not being able to itch for so long. I'm then horrified again to see my beautiful Bagga the Machine tied up, especially after he redeemed himself in the last episode. We then spawn an enemy captain defending my last Bagga's bandit, but I run past him to go and free him first. I figure he deserves to get his own revenge.
17.
But then as soon as I release him, Bagga the Machine has already gone and done it, striking the Beast Slayer down. With all of my captains now free, we head back to the throne room to ambush Bruz. Just look at all the Baggas here, being all sneaky.
Welcome back, boss. So what was the plan? Rescue your boys, bring them here for some kind of reckoning? We can have a real party, a right shindig, yeah?
And when Bruz says party, he means a real party as he summons in 4 other captains. I immediately start the fight by headshotting Shag the Sickly. I then freeze him up and begin landing blows before Bruz comes over and interrupts me. I then begin to get swarmed by Bruz and 3 of his captains all at once. I fight my way out of the corner and go over to help Bagga the Itchy, facing a very angry captain. Once the champion of Gorgoroth is taken out, the power balance turns in our favor. And because of this, my confidence is up, which leads this enraged archer to land a deadly blow on me, downing me. Back on my feet, I then have a chat with the savage who nearly got me.
We're going to soften you up, and Bruz is going to finish you off.
Oh, we're going to have some fun with you, man-filth.
Running away from the scary savage, I spot that one of the captains is broken. With two of his lovely boys now dead, Bruz decides to flee.
It's a bugger, Ranger. You wasn't supposed to go this way. You will see me again.
And honestly, Bruz really should be a trickster at this point. With Bruz now gone, the morale of the outlaw orc drops to 0, so I'm able to get on in there and dominate him. I will always take a pirate-looking orc.
My strength for you!
And then to finish off this throne room fight, I dominate Shag the Sickly and I recruit him. Shag the Sickly just has a nice ring to it. But there was one orc in the throne room who I am not recruiting, and that is the Scary Savage. And I finish him off with my famous leg sweep move. Talion gives his epic Celebrimbor speech.
This fortress is once again under my command.
And then does his very magical spear slam. With the fortress now taken, I give the overlordship to the outlaw. Basically because I need to use the rest of the Baggas to help me find Bagga the Alchemist.
Talion! Ratbag needs your help! I've lost Ranger!
But then, very sadly, we find out that during the fort raid, Bruz actually takes Ranger hostage. And when we head over to go and save him, we are ambushed.
There he is, the glorious bride load.
By a bunch of alpha Caragors. Talion summons in Bagga, and they get to work. Tearing through each of these scary Caragors while Ratbag cowers in the corner.
Bruz! Come back here, you rotten piece of schmuck!
With us surviving that ambush and Ranger now missing, we will have to head to new lands in order to hunt down Bruz. But first, there's one deranged orc in this region that I need to recruit. I believe he'll be a big asset to the team, and that is, of course, the Complainer. I track him down to the docks. I then very epically jump off the cliff and I mistake these barrels of fish for Bruz. The Complainer then does his best impression of angry TikTok commenters when they realize that I still play Shadow of War.
You won't stop it. I'll stop it. I will stop it.
And because the Complainer is a trickster, it only takes a few attacks before he's ready to retreat.
It's time to stop it.
Look at him go!
Just stop it.
Slower walk.
You have to stop it.
I pin his foot so he doesn't get away, and then I smash an Elven Light straight into his back. Thank goodness Bagga the Green is on top of those crates just aura farming. He probably wouldn't let the Complainer walk away from this one. But because he's stuck up there, I'm able to get in and recruit this lovely trickster.
Stop it! Stop
He may be weak and he may love to retreat, but he's got personality, and that's what really matters. With the Complainer now recruited to the cause of finding the original Bagga, I go and I talk to my tree friend, who informs me that Zog is up to no good again, up to his old shenanigans. And this is where I get first introduced to Zog's revenants. He's been raising the dead, raising his own army.
A foul creature.
I do like how Talion says foul creature here. Oh, how his opinion will change in the future. All it takes is being betrayed by your best elf friend and your elf girlfriend, and putting on a magical demonic ring to change your morals completely.
We must purify the necromancer totems.
Good
Only
job,
then
camera,
can we
right
end
behind the tree there. Before encountering Zog and his boys, I summon in my own lad, Bagga the Green. And before I can strike one of his revenants, Zog rudely interrupts me.
We meet again. I am Zog, and I've been watching you for some time. You're the inspiration for all this. What better army to defeat a dead man than a legion of undead orcs?
Wow, I'm your inspiration, Zog. God damn. That's crazy. And then Zog becomes Talion's inspiration in the future once he gets betrayed. Inspired by Zog's amazing compliment, Talion takes out all of his reanimated corpses. He then hits him with a devastating execution attack, taking off the majority of his health. And then right when Bagga the Green is about to move in for the kill, Zog interrupts us yet again. But just look at this death stare from Bagga. He is furious by the mere presence of Zog.
Us, Ranger. You're fighting the future. The dead will take Mordor for themselves, and not even you can stop us. Oh, there's more fun to come.
Zog then very smartly teleports away. Talion and Bagga the Green then return these reanimated corpses to the ground.
This Zog is dangerous. His acolytes perhaps more so.
With Zog now vanquished, it's time to head off to a new region. Seregost, the toughest region in my experience. And if we were ever going to find the original Bagga, it would be here, his birthplace, his home. Upon arriving, we summon in the Bagga army. And this is where we also summon in one of Bagga's old bandit legends, Noruk the Painted. He heard that we were searching for the original, and he decided to come and help us. But he's not the only one who answered the call. The legendary war commander, this powerful lad was Bagga's main ally throughout his entire series. So if anyone was going to be able to find him, it would be this orc. Immediately upon arriving in Seregost, I come across a very interesting orc captain.
So dull. You may have heard of one like me. He prances and dances and sings with glee. Wherever there's strife, the singer is there. He slaughters and slays with such merry flair. I sing this song with all my breath. Take heed, for this interlude ends with your death.
It's always a pleasure to come across the Bard orc. He definitely needs to join our forces. He could single-handedly raise the morale of all the other orcs. What do you think, Bagga the Green? Should we recruit him? And very surprisingly for a singer orc, once he gets hit by Bagga's flame weapon, he becomes enraged. I always thought the singers were supposed to be chill lads, but I guess not this guy. He then massively catches Talion off guard, downs him, and he has no chance.
His name was Great Walker, not so much a talker, especially now that he's taken his bow.
This Bard orc is an assassin, and it's safe to say that Talion was systematically taken out, lulled into a false sense of security by his lovely songs, and then quickly attacked while he was enraged, and finished off with a no chance out of nowhere. Could this Bard orc be our new nemesis in Seregost? But for now, we'll need to forget about this new potential nemesis. We came here for one reason, to take the fortress. And for us to do that successfully, we need spies to infiltrate. So I think this is a great opportunity for the complainer to finally prove himself.
Now you face a true follower of the Dark Flame.
Stop it. You hear me? Stop it. Just stop it.
The fight gets off to a bad start with the Crusher running over and doing the patented pick up and punch move. But this thankfully doesn't hurt the complainer at all. He then gets to work firing bolt after bolt into the chunky stomach. It only takes 3 shots, finishing him off with a deadly headshot. Straight through his eye. The complainer really has proven himself to be strong. At least when there's a 10 level difference. I then caught word that Noruk the Painted was hunting down the Bard. Apparently it didn't sit right with him that Talion was brutally killed by this musical orc.
The singer song will never end.
The Painted arrives on the scene with his gang of orcs. At this exact moment, Talion also arrives on the scene, but he doesn't learn from his mistakes, firing himself straight into the fireplace, enraging Cloth the Bard yet again. He then frantically calls in Bagga the Green before the Bard has a chat with him.
He's back, for what could it be? The Ranger must want to dance with me.
Right after the conversation, Talion lands a deadly strike on the enraged Bard. Noruk the Painted then ambushes him from behind, picks him up, and chokeslams him into the floor. No amount of time away from the spotlight could ever dull Noruk the Painted's savageness. Excited to see the Painted back in action, Talion sprints on over to the Bard, but this is when the Bard hits him with another enraged attack, which downs him in one shot. He then hits him with the no chance, to solidify himself as the true nemesis of Seregost.
This is how I remember your name.
Honestly, this is sloppy play by Talion, constantly fighting right into the hands of the bard. I think the issue is that it is a bard. Talion just doesn't see this as a true threat, but he is seemingly becoming more and more powerful with every encounter, even making himself a war chief. Furious with himself, Talion respawns, and immediately decides to go after one of the war chiefs, Oz Teru the Rock Crusher.
Kill this war chief's orcs at range, and he will come to us.
In order to draw him out, he's got to take out his blacksmiths.
Stop it right now. You
The complainer executes the plan flawlessly, shooting the rock crusher in the back of the head. I sprint on over to the complainer because I'm very worried he is going to be attacked by 3 different captains at once. I dive off this grunt, and in midair I shoot the barrel and I smash on into the fireplace, trying to cause as much carnage as possible. This inspires the rock crusher to finally speak.
Now you get fight you want. Now you get beaten into sludge.
Into sludge? Is that what you do to the rocks that you crush? You turn them into rock sludge? I think that's known as cement. I like the idea of the orcs creating their own cement and just calling it rock sludge. I think that's a great name for it. I'm going to start calling it that in everyday life. Avoiding getting turned into sludge, I focus on one of the rock crusher's bodyguards, the Gold Thief. I always like how these orcs look, so I'm going to recruit him.
I'll follow every command.
I then begin to focus on the other bodyguard.
Amateur, I've seen you in action. You're sloppy, a rank amateur. It's time for a lesson from a true expert.
Oh my word, he sounds exactly like an angry YouTube commenter. Wow, he could be my true nemesis right here. The amount of comments I've gotten. Well, actually, the comments don't call me sloppy, they just ask me all the time why I don't use my Elven Rage. And the reason is, I forget, okay? I forget. I've played about 1,000 hours as Nazgul Talion when you don't have Elven Rage, so I just forget, alright? I'm sorry. I also will never use the Wraithgiver sword, so stop asking in the comments. Powered up from that random rant, I'm able to execute the Rock Crusher with ease. Then all that's left is a terrified YouTube commenter. I jump over his head and finish him off with a swift kick to the back. Goodbye, my neck-bearded nemesis. Go back to training orcs on Discord. To continue this momentum of systematically taking down the fortress, Bagga the Itchy is trying to infiltrate another war chief. He signed himself up for the pits to try and become a bodyguard. And there he faces a very scary-looking gluttonous olog.
I come for you. Be ready.
But thankfully, he's only level 26.
You better not be another idiot who can't fight.
With that 10 level difference, the Itchy easily dispatches this olog. And what I like about this is that you can see the exact moment his armor changes to red. Inspired by this performance and wanting to get back into the swing of things, the Abandoned decided that he too would become a spy and infiltrate the Bard. But can this old legendary orc still do it? Has he still got it? He comes face to face in the arena with a very creepy orc.
Care to try your hand against me?
Whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa!
After getting grazed with the first hit from the Lurker, the Abandoned snaps back into his old ways and completely destroys this poor Lurker orc, systematically taking him apart. It's clear that the Abandoned still very much has got it. Seeing his old friend fight once again in the pits, the Painted wanted a piece of the action himself. So he heads on into the pits to face the Good Fink.
You've been lucky so far, and that luck is about to end.
But unlike Nuruk the Abandoned, the Painted might be a little bit out of it. It's been a very long time since he last fought, and coming out of retirement like this to look for Bagga the Alchemist might just end up putting him in an early grave as the Good Fink chokeslams him to the ground. It also seems like in his old age he's lost a bit of his fire resistance. He's also so out of practice that it seems like a Caragor can even get the better of him. But despite being toyed with, Nuruk is able to land a devastating slash, which the Good Fink follows up with another chokeslam. With both of them now feeling the effects of the fight, they begin an all-out brawl, landing blow and counter-attack after counter-attack on each other, until miraculously the old Nuruk is able to come back and claim victory in the pits. Even though that was insanely close, I believe he still got it. With the great success of the Painted infiltrating another war chief, the next move was to weaken the fortress further by going after some of the bodyguards. Talon was able to mark and track down Ratak the Master to these nearby ruins.
I think we need to make a party out of this encounter.
After confronting the bodyguard, I am then very embarrassingly taken down by multiple spear throws. Getting hit by 3 at once. After blocking the killing blow, I retreat back only to get hit by another spear. It is just an army of spear throwers around here. After blocking yet another deadly spear, I try to retreat up the tower, but I am blocked again by the hay bales. Panicking, I am finally able to get to safety. I then stay on top of this tower like a complete coward, sucking these orcs dry. I then dive back on into the fight while Bagga the Alchemist is distracting him and land a deadly attack, breaking the orc immediately. Also, if we take a look back at the footage here, look at how many spears are in Bagga the Green. I then land an apparently devastating simple slash to the back to put the master down for good. But even with their master gone, these grunts are still deadly with the spears, and they are determined to not let me leave. One of them, very deservedly so, gets themselves a promotion.
Your death is the beginning of my rise to power.
He rises up, puts on a Caragor head and becomes the Beast Slayer. Will this new captain prove himself to be a problem for us? After respawning, Talion then got word that the Painted has something big planned.
Tra-la-la-la, the sing-a-song will never end.
These two legendary Bagga's bandits have lured out the Bard War Chief and have ambushed him, and oh my word, it's already over. The Bard has immediately fled, despite being my new nemesis. I could end this right now, but I don't want to, it's not my place. One of these new legendary lords needs to end this War Chief. He could have been so much more. He could have been my new singing nemesis. But instead, I think he deserves this. He deserves to be shamed for all the times he hit me with this pathetic no chance. If there's one thing that I can do to this orc, it's gonna be to take away his singing ability. That would legitimately be the cruel thing to do. But let me know in the comments, what do you think we should do to the Bard orc? Before we raid this fortress, we've got another orc here who I just recruited, and I think he needs to prove himself. Look at how badass he looks though. I genuinely do love the gold thief look. But we are going to be sending him into the pits to try and infiltrate the Worm Liquor War Chief.
Time for a clinic on combat.
You're next to die!
And he easily does it, destroying this ugly, lump-headed orc. I mean, he does have a massive level advantage, but there we go, he has proven himself. Well done, the Gold Thief. With all of the pieces now in place, we begin to assemble our forces to attempt to raid the Seregost fortress.
That's Gore to man. I think he should go back there, because here he finds real fight. Here he finds death. Come to us, traitors. Throw yourself up on walls. We throw you off. Then smash down.
Alright, that was pretty good. Let's see what my lads have to say.
The worms are in my head and they wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. These lads know nothing of war. Fortunately, we're here to teach them. It's a pity the lesson will kill them all.
Wow, great orcs there. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh my god, the crazy is amazing. Also, the main takeaway I have from that is that how dirty are Bagga the Alchemist's fingers? They're horrifying. Anyway, let's take this fortress, boys. I start by taking out the siege beast. Then I jump aboard my war grog and I take down the front gate. Smashing on through, I try to pummel this drake to death, but it ends up being a little bit too strong. My boys flood into the first point and we immediately take it because we'd already taken out the war chief earlier. I then finish off the very annoying drake. I then smash on over to the second point where there is one defending orc. The painted lands a good attack, which makes him immediately try to retreat. And I gotta say, I don't really blame him for that. There are 5 attacking orcs, including Talion. But despite this, I believe that the correct thing to do here is to shame him down. He did try to retreat. Maybe he can redeem himself in the future. With the Face Eater now gone, we take the point. And I gotta say, it's really nice to see 2 of my old legendary orcs, the Painted and the Abandoned, here with the new Bagga the Green. Moving on swiftly to the third point, I spot the Worm Licker. And whenever I get in close, the Gold Thief activates. This causes the Worm Licker to want to flee immediately. This is a fortress of cowards. And the Worm Licker dies like a coward. I then hit a badass execution combo, sending this orc flying. Part of me is now starting to believe that we probably didn't need all of those spies. Especially with the Painted and the Abandoned coming back, but oh well, we're here now. Running over to the next point, another spy activates, Bagga the Itchy. And the same thing happens again with the orc immediately trying to retreat. What the hell is going on with these lads? Deuce the Enraged. I would have thought you would have become enraged rather than retreating. What the hell is going on in this fortress? This fortress is just begging to be taken. We take the point, and because we'd already taken out all of the other war chiefs, we are ready to head on into the throne room. Before that, I get the Gold Thief back up. He did an alright job. I think he's proven himself. Look at my lads here, taking the fortress with ease. Yeah, I definitely think in hindsight we probably didn't need to infiltrate and have everyone be spies, but you know, the orcs had a good time. Let's head on in there and see how bad this war-born overlord could be.
You dare step in my throne room? I serve Dark Lord. Command his fortress. I am one of fighting olog. What are you?
Your executioner.
I immediately check out his bodyguard, Fog the Rhymer. And I think in order to complete this traitor fortress, I need to go and I need to recruit this lad onto my side. If I can get the Rhymer to deal the finishing blow on the Warmonger Overlord, then that will just be the cherry on top for this fort raid. I shoot a few arrows into him, getting his health down to half. I then land attack after attack while he's frozen. I do a bit of crowd control with my fiery elven light, and then I fire one more arrow into the bodyguard and he is ready to be dominated.
Now! You will serve the great lord!
Okay, with the Rhymer on my side, let's see what kind of damage he can deal to this Overlord. If he does a good job, then maybe he can join Bagga's bandits. Alright, the Rhymer hasn't really done much yet. I'm gonna have to take matters into my own hands. In fact, I don't even know what he's doing right now. He's not even in the frame. He's off to the side. Oh, here he comes now. Go on, Rhymer. Do something. Don't just be preoccupied by the ologs and the grunts. Actually do something. Make a name for yourself. I continue to weaken down the Warbringer, shot after shot, because the Rhymer doesn't really seem to want to get involved. I even get caught off guard at one point by one of the olog grunts, and he almost gets the kill. And then as I'm going in for my glaive attack, the Warbringer does this, darting me with a flashbang.
You not dead! I not dead! So we fight! Fight! Man!
This son of a bitch, humiliating me. You bastard. What is the Rhymer doing up there on the throne? What is he doing? Right, I've had enough of this. I was gonna kill you, but no, you're getting shamed. Just like all the rest of your pathetic captains and war chiefs in your fortress, all trying to run away, you all deserve to be shamed. You don't deserve the mercy of death. With the fortress now taken, I believe that we have captured all of the important regions. Sorry, Lift Lad. This means that now all there is left to do before we can find Bagga the Alchemist is finish the storyline, shame Bruz, become a Nazgul, level up to level 80, and then head online to find the original Bagga the Alchemist. I'm either gonna find him in the online fort raids on Xbox, or I'm gonna find him through a vendetta mission. But for now, I'm gonna make the gold thief the overlord, because I need to use the rest of the orcs. I think he kind of earned it, but let me know in the comments, guys, what do you want to see next in this series?
Subscribe for more of that delicious Shadow of War content. Come on, it's probably free to do. And if it isn't, maybe it's worth the money. I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet, but you can trust me. I'm an anonymous voiceover. Those are very trustworthy.